I'm sure you're thrilled that this fight was rebooked, but you were going to be fighting in your home state of Nebraska. Now you're fighting in front of no fans in an empty arena. Mentally, how different is the preparation for this fight, knowing that?
You just got to figure out how to kind of like move your programming around a little bit, just because more the date that messed it up. But obviously, I had to kind of get out of my feelings a little bit and back up and just you got to realize that this isn't anybody's fault, but you can't help but feel like, man, what is it going to take? Like, I've been busting my ass for over a decade trying to get to a point where I could headline a UFC event in my home state, but it's just you can't help it. It's just the world is the way it is. There's a lot of people that are going through a lot worse things, so it does sound very silly of me to complain about something like that because I'm still able to compete. I'm still able to do what I love for a living, and support my family doing that. So at some point, I had to check my ego and just back up and just be fortunate for what I do have and what I can do.
They almost need to add another fight on your record with the home invasion you had recently. And I know there was a really scary situation of what happened. When this all occurred, I know you weren't sure what was happening with the fight, but was there ever a thought of not fighting, perhaps, just with something as pretty scary as that situation?
Nah, not really, man. That's just not me. The UFC reached out and made it clear that they were okay if that was something I wanted to do and just focus on my family. But this is not me, man. I mean, would I really be Lionheart if I let something like that put me in a position where I'm gonna back out of my previous responsibilities and things. Like I say, I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up. There's no contingencies there. It's not I'm gonna show up if everything's perfect or if nothing goes wrong. Or I'm gonna be here. Uh, and I'm not gonna let some psychopath dictate what I do and what I don't do. I'm gonna keep on pushing forward. It's what I tell my kids every day because they're still having problems. Like, put one foot in front of the other, and we'll just deal with it day by day.
Glover's a really, he's a tough guy to finish, but obviously the landscape of the division right now, do you feel like a finish would sort of put you in that mix right now? Because it's obviously very crowded at the top, outside of John Jones.
Yeah, man. There's nowhere to sit down at the top of the division. That's for sure, man. It's standing room only up there. I think a dominant performance and a finish and over Glover would. I think it puts me in a position to fight whoever doesn't get the title shot. And listen, I mean, I'm a realist. I know that I didn't have the best performance against John, and I'm gonna have to earn my way back to it. But I think that if Reyes gets the title shot, I think fighting either Thiago Santos or Jan Blachowicz, I think that a win over one of those guys absolutely puts me right back into a title fight.